today's video, I have 10 Halloween DIYs I know you're gonna love. These turned out adorable and I just love them so much, so I cannot wait to share this. So let's go ahead and get started. Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Katelyn and I love all things DIYing and crafting. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you give me a big thumbs up. It really helps my channel to grow. Today I have some really fun Halloween DIYs that these are just adorable. I love cutesy Halloween, so these are really more cutesy than scary, but I know you guys are going to love them. So I really hope you stick around by subscribing and hitting your notification bell because I am going to be doing another fall DIY later this week, and then Christmas is coming up super soon and I cannot wait to share with you guys. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into these Halloween DIYs. This is the first sign that I'm going to be using whenever making over this sign, and Dollar Tree does put out a lot of beautiful decor pieces that I love to buy and just use as is, but a lot of the times they are repeats from last year and you don't want to just keep purchasing the same sign. So I love to share with you unique ways to reuse Dollar Tree signs, but for this project I just needed one of the little planks off of that witch sign, so I took off the bottom one and flipped it around. I pulled the tape off and kind of sanded it down lightly, and now I am just giving it a couple coats of this steel color. It's just this beautiful medium color gray. I love using this heat tool for in between coats. I'll link that down below if you're interested in picking one up, but it just is a really great tool to have when crafting because it does dry your paint really fast. And then while this paint, the second coat is still a little bit wet, I'm using some white acrylic paint and going to give this a streak effect by adding it in there still wet and making it look really detailed. I went ahead and drilled 2 larger holes at the top so that I could add in a rope hanger. I usually never do this step until last, but I've learned that sometimes it interferes with the letters that I put on there, so now I'm trying to add them before I add in my letters. And for the letters, I am using some of these little stickers from Target. They're actually like kind of cloth on the front, but they are adhesive. I tried to use a piece of tape to transfer them over, but it would not stick because they kind of were like felt on the front, so I wasn't able to transfer them. So I just tried to put them on there as straight as I could. I thought these little wooden ghosts were adorable and I was dying to use them somehow, so I ended up just whitewashing over them with acrylic paint. These were from the Dollar Tree, and then I tied this little black ribbon in the top, and then I attached it to a popsicle stick instead of just gluing these directly on the back. This just felt like an easier way to get them really straight and keep the ribbon really secure. I was able to hot glue right onto the popsicle stick and attach the ribbon, and then hot glue the entire thing to the back, so it kind of sandwiched that ribbon in really nice and tight. This project only took a few minutes to put together and just a really fun way to make over those glittery Dollar Tree signs into something more neutral and farmhouse that looks really good and just more high-end. I think the easiest way to decorate any space and add a little bit of height is to add in florals. I picked up this little bucket. It's kind of like a little metal bucket from Dollar Tree, and it was already so beautiful with those little colorful pumpkins. I just love the pattern that was already around it. So I went ahead and hot glued down some styrofoam in the bottom, and then I wanted to use Walmart flowers. I looked at Dollar Tree and all I could find was the black roses with the little eyeball in it, and I just didn't love it. So I decided to use these Walmart flowers as well as these little picks that had black leaves and some silver berries on there. I thought they were really cute. I cut off the flowers, and so I was able to arrange them how I wanted them. And then what made this project so adorable is that I am using the little witch's feet. I made a DIY in my last video, I'll link that down below, with some more Halloween DIY ideas, and I had to cut these little feet off of a cauldron sign that also came from Dollar Tree, so I saved them for a future project that I knew I was going to want to use because these are so cute. I attached them to some dowel rods. I did have to trim the dowel rods down a little bit because they were too tall, and just push them down into the styrofoam. I know it seems kind of silly, but I had those holes at the top of the shoes where I removed the string, so I had these black pom-poms, so I just covered them over. I thought it kind of reminded me of how like elves have little pom-poms on their shoes a lot, but I think it still turned out really cute. The light is catching it, so the shoe looks lighter, but in person, like, the pom-pom just blends in and makes this a really cute little craft. This next DIY is super simple. It's not even like a tutorial, but it is a really cool little piece that Dollar Tree offers, so I wanted to show you guys how to use it. But I picked up one of these little wooden houses, little haunted houses, that already is adorable and so easy to make or decorate. So all I did was just paint this with some black acrylic paint and let that dry. And then I'm going to take a white paint marker and do a little bit of stitching around the windows, and it is instantly adorable in just a couple minutes. Like I said, I place this in front of a candle to display it, but it just really decorates up any little space and shows that you're decorating for Halloween for just $1. It doesn't get any easier than that to decorate up your space for just $1. This next DIY is another one that's silly simple, but I have to share with you guys. I got a lot of questions the last time that I shared this, decorated with something else, and these little burlap pumpkin faces are so simple to make. You could put this on any size mason jar or like a larger glass and just make like a collection of them in different shapes and sizes. I think would be so beautiful. But for this, I'm using one of Dollar Tree's little votive candle holders, and I went ahead and just wrapped it in a piece of burlap ribbon, also from Dollar Tree, and secured that in the back with some hot glue. And then just to have a better hand at it, I freehanded a little pumpkin face on the front with a Sharpie, but I do take paint so that it will be more bold and really show up on this burlap so that I can fill in this little pumpkin face nice and dark. I think it would even be so cool to be able to wrap this around candles that you already have without hot gluing them down so that you could easily trade them out. Next, I'm going to be sharing a really fun DIY making over this ghost. He is adorable already how he is, but I want to dress it up so it looks more like a cutesy little ghost. I even added a bow to this, which made it look adorable. So to make this friendly little ghost, I took some white paint and go ahead and give this a nice base coat. And I also chose to distress this a little bit. You wouldn't have to if you wasn't into mostly rustic farmhouse, but I do go ahead and distress it to make it look older. I also added in some little lines to make this have like a faux wood look. So I use my popsicle sticks to get perfect lines and then paint over them with gray paint. I'm using the same elephant gray color to put a little bit on a brush that has like kind of messed up bristles. It's all spread out and older, so it does distress this really beautifully. And then I use a piece of sandpaper to really lighten up this gray and look a little bit more natural. Now I am attempting to paint its little face, so I'm not great or don't trust myself to just go at it and start painting a little ghost face on there. So I like to just sketch something out on paper and cut it out, and I'm only doing half the mouth because I do want it to be really symmetrical, so I'll just trace half of it and flip it over, as well as one eye, and then scoot that little piece of paper over so that everything looks nice and even. Let me know down in the comments below how you like to paint little faces. Do you just freehand them? Do you like to print something off and trace it? Do you use your Cricut or maybe this method? But let me know. That's something that I would love to share with everyone, because I get a ton of questions every time I paint like a scarecrow or a ghost on how they don't like how they paint the eyes or how to better their faces. So just start a conversation down in the comments and let's talk about like any tips or tricks to paint little faces, whether, like I said, that's on snowmen or ghost or scarecrow or anything that you could use throughout the year. I made him, or I guess it's a her because I put a little bow on it at the end, but I made a cute little banner that says boo. I cut out these triangles from a piece of burlap. I did use the same triangle as a pattern to get the other ones the same exact size and shape. I painted boo on there, which is so cute to add to the front of this. I went ahead and hot glued it down and then made a cute little bow out of this orange and black zigzag or chevron ribbon that turned out really cute. After my friendly little ghost was all put together, I did decide to touch up a few little pieces on the face. I felt like the mouth wasn't wide enough, so I fixed that. But I think this is a really cute piece, just really fun to make over something that was just $1. The next thing that I'm using is one of these little shiny witches hats. They also at Dollar Tree have out little witch wreath forms in the shape of a wreath hat or in the shape of a witch hat that are adorable and would also work for this. But I do like this because all of that little plasticky fabric that is on this hat does give my burlap something to hold to, like the hot glue to hold to really nice and tight. So I didn't mind it, but I go ahead and just completely wrap this in my burlap ribbon nice and tight. I tried to secure it every few strands to make sure that it was going to hold nice and tight, because this does go down at an angle. You'll see that I do try to have to pick the ribbon back up and start over so that I don't just keep leaving open spots, but it is able to fit nice and snug together. There was a couple pieces at the front that was not going to wrap all the way around there, so I did just have to cut it out and hot glue it in place, but it still worked out, especially since I'm going to be painting over this entire thing with black paint. All of the imperfections don't show, so like I said, just really put on this black paint really nice and thick. And you can, like if you hold it in a light, see some of that little shimmery plastic behind it, but I think it gives it a really cool effect. You can't see through it, it just makes it a little shiny. And then for the bow, I'm using some of this black and white pumpkin ribbon. I put a little brim or banner around the bottom of the hat, and then I add a little bow. And then I pick out a black button just for a little bit of extra detail and add that to the center of my bow. always has their Christmas stuff going out way before Halloween is even here, so this worked out perfect to grab one of these Christmas bells. I didn't like how shiny it was, so I did dull it down a little bit with some black paint and then attach that to the top of the hat so that it could dangle down all cute. This is how it came together. I think it is such a beautiful fabric look and how rustic and older that the hat looks. Just a perfect Halloween vibe. Next up is one of my favorite Halloween crafts that I've ever made. I just love the witches during Halloween, just like all the witch movies, Halloweentown, just everything that was so popular back in the 90s, and I just love little witches just because they're so cute and fun, so I like more cutesy Halloween than scary. But I thought it would be really cool to use this little glass dish. These are so popular at Dollar Tree. They have them all year, all the time. So they're easy to find, but they would make a perfect little candy dish, or you could even maybe put like a little battery operated tea light in there to make it light up. But I painted the glass with this bright colored green, which I thought was perfect, and then I added a little wooden bead for the nose. I did fill in the holes with some wood filler so it didn't have a big hole in it, and then I looked up a little witch face that I could try to copy or look off of to get the witch face right. Like I said, I want more cutesy, so I did paint her to look really happy and like a cute witch. You could do that same thing if you wanted to kind of draw on a piece of paper and trace the little eyes. Here I'm just freehanding them and trying to look as close as possible. I did add her a little bit of kind of eyeliner over the top to make her eyes really pop and more bold, and then some cute little lashes. And then this is what makes her so adorable, adding the little Dollar Tree hat on top. This is the perfect size to go on this little round container, but an adorable little piece that is very inexpensive but just takes a few little details of paint. This DIY project is perfect for everyone. You can definitely make this your own style. It's something that you can involve the family with, your kids, but just something really cute and bold and tall that you can make an impact with, but very colorful and look Halloween. So for this, I am using another one of Dollar Tree's Halloween buckets, and I'm putting in the white little Christmas tree because once again, Dollar Tree already has out their Christmas trees. So this is a perfect time to grab one to make this adorable little Halloween tree. I wanted it to kind of go with farmhouse, even though I do love traditional Halloween colors all through the house. It gets everyone so excited. So I go ahead and wrap this in some black and white buffalo check, like I said, so it still will tie in with my farmhouse slash neutral decor. And then I do wrap some of that black cheesecloth around the base to cover up all of the styrofoam. It also adds in extra texture. And then to make the little ornaments, I'm using some of Dollar Tree's felt stickers. These are perfect. They have a ton of different options, so you can pick what you like and what your style is, or you could DIY these yourself. But I picked out these little pumpkins and ghosts that have the little stitching around the edges, which is so cute. I hot glued a piece of pipe cleaner on the back so that they will have a little hook to hang on the tree. These ghosts are my favorite. I think they are adorable, but really everything pops off and just makes a really fun piece to make. To give it even more of a pop of orange, I did add in some of this mesh rope that they do sell at Dollar Tree. It really just made the orange pop off of there and make a really fun, colorful piece. Dollar Tree is awesome for putting out these DIY signs that are not painted. So this is just a crafter's dream to be able to pick up these signs and make them how you want. I picked up this scary little jack-o'-lantern. I wanted to cut the stem off, so I tried to saw it off, and that Dollar Tree saw, it just was not going through it. So I had to trim it with a pair of scissors. But I go ahead and take this outside and spray paint it silver. And then because I do want this to look really rustic and older, I am going to dry brush it with some gray, and then to really make it look a little bit rusty and aged, I add in some of this brown paint to really like touch up the edges and around the eyes, and it really makes the face pop off of there. I did take a piece of sandpaper to make it all blend in and look really smooth and get rid of all of the harsh brush strokes that I made on there. And then I wanted this to dangle off of another sign like I did in the first DIY. So I'm using one of these planks from the stake from Dollar Tree. I painted it this neutral beige color. I think this is in mineral. And then I also wanted to make it look aged so that it went along with the jack-o'-lantern by going ahead and doing the edges of this sign with the same brown. These are some of my favorite font stickers. You pick these up at Dollar Tree in like their office school supplies. They're like poster stickers with their posters that they sell, but they are just a beautiful sticker with a clear backing and perfect for making signs with. After I got them all put on there, I go ahead and drill the holes for my rope hanger, and I love tying the knots in the front. I just feel like it adds a lot of detail to the sign. I needed a way for the jack-o'-lantern to hang off of the sign, so I didn't want it to be the same thick rope hanger, so I drilled smaller holes and was able to use some jute twine to attach that to this sign, but it turned out really cute and a rustic, perfect Halloween decor piece. And for the next DIY, I'm using one of these little square decor pieces, also from Dollar Tree. I remove the label and pop off that little metal hanger. If you take a piece of sandpaper, you're able to sand over those holes and they instantly go away. They just blend in really nicely. I wanted this to have a brown frame, so I go ahead and paint the edges brown. I did go ahead and coat the entire thing in brown because I wasn't sure what I was going to do with the backing, but then I go in and paint it a lighter color so that one of the window clings that I decide to use does pop up off of there. I love mixing in browns and grays together, especially for like Halloween or holidays. It just really gives it more of a rustic look. Here I go with the window clings again. You guys know I use these all the time, but I found this little cauldron or witch's cauldron with the bubbles coming out that I thought was really pretty. I didn't like how it was kind of glittery and they were lime green, but I do go ahead and fix those by taking a piece of sandpaper and lightly going over this. I didn't want it to rip or scrub off the lettering, so you have to be super careful and just lightly brush off the glitter. And I Mod Podge this down, and then I'll be able to add in some of the green that I like the color of. So I'm using a mixture of moss and celery color green and mix them up nice so that I can cover up all of those bubbles coming out of the cauldron. I love using my paintbrush backwards whenever I am trying to go in and cover up circles or make little polka dots. It's just the perfect size to use. And then I built up the top a little bit so that it didn't look so flat. It was so much fun to add in the extra detail. I used some brown paint as well as this little metallic marker to really make it like it is shiny, but also has details where you can see that it is bubbling over. But this is just one of those pieces that is perfect for a tiered tray or to put with other little table decor, but I think it turned out adorable and also one of my favorite DIYs. Thank you all so much for coming along and crafting with me today. I love crafting. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure to give me a big thumbs up. We are going to start Christmas DIYing in a couple of weeks and I cannot wait. So make sure you're subscribed and let me know in the comments down below what else you want to see besides Christmas, because I am planning out more videos for next month. Thank you again for watching and I'll see you next time. Happy crafting. Bye.